Episode 2 of the No Limit Sports Podcast here. Sports Plug 757, Dom Gilliam, Key Schuler. I'm only Mark Davis of WTKR, and we are here ready to rock and roll with Episode 2. We had an awesome first episode, guys, talking about the NFL Draft. Episode 2, let's start up in D.C.
Yes.
Huge week for Commanders fans. A couple topics to get to here, but they've been waiting, and the news finally comes. They are getting a new stadium. Dom, when you heard this, what were your thoughts?
Well, my thoughts are, it's about that time. FedEx Field, we were talking about, just off air, just how much of the problems they've been having there, whether it's a water pipe bursting or just no cold showers in the locker room, facilities just falling apart. And so right now, it just seems like, as the team is getting the success that it has, it's time to move it back and, kind of go back to the old roots, maybe, winning ways, if we could call it that. But all in all, it's easy to overlook, just like the significance. It's going from Maryland right to D.C., so it's like, but the neighborhood and the people, Virginia, Maryland, D.C., that DMV combined area, that's something that we've always kind of been able to have to to unify us. But now it's in the nation's capital. DC's getting a stadium. It's more coming, as we'll get into. But it's just really a good move to see by the new management they have up there. Consecutive years in a row now they are making the right strides to kind of get back to what Washington, not the Redskins, but what Washington once was. And so it's been really good to see them making the right moves. For the community, for the team, for fans, everybody.
The symbolism is cool, moving back to D.C. where they won 3 Super Bowls. Key, what do you look for when you are like, hey, it's a new stadium, here are some things I want to see?
Some new things I want to see. Definitely just the new, just the updated design.
The bells and whistles,
yes,
right?
Just all the cool stuff, just like how Mercedes-Benz Stadium is and how the Rams and Chargers Stadium is, like the glass top and just very transparent and it's just open and just feel futuristic. That's where we are now. The Commanders, the new Commanders deserve like this because of the culture switch. And, just the old stadium is just with Alex Smith getting hurt up there. It just had a bad juju up there altogether, and just the players was complaining about the field was ranked in the bottom of the stadiums. Just this new stadium will fit. Just Jaden Daniels and just the new Commanders. Period. I just think it's a good look. I'm happy that they're back in D.C. Even though I am a Cowboys fan, I'm still glad that they're just a little bit closer.
Yeah, a new stadium right up the road's never a bad thing to go and check out. I'm glad you brought up the roof too, Key, because that opens up so many doors for other things, right?
Yes.
We have a Super Bowl now, concerts, Final Four. There are so many things that can happen now by putting a roof on your stadium. Personally, I think if you're building a new stadium and you don't put a roof on it, you're insane because of what you're losing out on.
Yes.
They are definitely we got other things coming to DC, and obviously one of the things that we were going to get into, I believe the NFL draft, is coming there as well. And so with that, you can only go. The NFL sees something in that market that they're starting to, tap into. The Commanders are now moving, to D.C. So it becomes an opportunity now where we talk about, I went to a Final Four in New Orleans. Final Fours happen in football stadiums.
Yep.
So a Final Four, a Super Bowl, a college championship. And I don't know, I'm 30 now, and I don't think there's ever been a Super Bowl that's been drivable too.
Yep.
And that, that kind of changes the perspective for things, what that does for the market, what it does for, the football culture around here, So I think it's a lot of things that we have to look forward just by, this is just one move, but then it's been a domino effect of other ones as well. So
now, there are a lot of pros that we're talking about too. I know in talking to some fans down here, there are some cons too. One, FedEx Field, Northwest Stadium, whatever they're calling it now, is right off the highway, so very easy to get to. You could deal with some DC traffic. But, the downtown stadium, I think it's the way to go because of what you can build up to, right? The other one, and I'm learning more about this, is the personal seat licenses, which is a fee that season ticket holders have to purchase before they even get their season tickets. So I think they're hoping that those PSLs are not going to be too high. I think they ranged up to around $75,000 for your premium seats at Allegiant Stadium in Vegas. So I know a lot of season ticket holders are kind of like on the edge of their seats, hoping like, hey, I hope I can still get season tickets. Mm-hmm. With that said, I think it's going to be really cool. I think it's fun. I think they needed it, and I think it's going to be really awesome to see this new stadium.
It's high demand, so when moves like this happen, it turns heads and it just brings more. So it's good to be able to stimulate stimulate everything around it, the economy, the football pool, we'll start to see more, scouts come. We'll start to see more people, more other businesses come from it, complementary businesses. So I think that, that it's a great move, and I can't wait to see, the fruition that it brings into other things, not just, the football stadium as well.
A $4 billion project, $2.7 billion paid for by the Commanders. So that's, more than half. And the rest coming from public funds. So definitely it's going to be a Washington Commanders joint venture. It's going to be really cool. And Dom, you brought up the draft. I want to move to that now. They think 1 million people might go up there for the NFL draft in 2027. When you guys heard that was happening, that was coming 3 hours north of us, we're going to have the NFL draft for the first time in its 86-year history, I think I saw. Wow, right?
Yes.
For sure.
I'm definitely really excited about that one. Hopefully, we all go up there together.
Yeah.
A couple of years, just go see that experience. Like, it's something I never experienced before. Our area never experienced before. And yes, I'm pretty sure we'll be packed. Like, it will be probably one of the biggest NFL drafts in a long time.
Like, can you imagine, bro? Like, what they're gonna do with like their front lawn? Like, that would be kind of a sight to see, like how they're put it together. Because they'll make it. When it comes to the draft, it's the things that surround the draft too. So like the weeks leading up, or just what they're able to set up just for fan fun or fan interaction, or just people like us that want to go up there and just be able to get a glimpse of the NFL side. I'm I'm very excited to be able to in the future, whenever it happens, but get up there.
Yeah,
for sure.
They said it's going to be right on the National Mall. And I think that's so picturesque, and that's the place you have to do it. Hey, weather be damned, I'll be up there checking it out. You know what I mean? I think it's going to be pretty awesome, to go up there and check that out, no doubt at all. And, with the stadium and the NFL draft up there, the other cool thing I think is what they're going to put in that we have no idea about yet.
Yes.
Right? What's going to happen that we haven't seen before at both the stadium and for the draft? That's pretty exciting.
Yeah, it is always, when you can make not. What am I trying to say? Not think outside the box with these things, and it's just I don't know, how it came about, but it's happening right now, and it just seems like the timing is right, and I'm just proud to be near it, fortunate enough to be near it, so that I can go check out and get an experience once in a lifetime for sure.
A lot of happy Commanders fans right now. We talk about the 2027 draft, but we're just coming off the 2025 draft, and guys. I know that the locals caught your eye of who went. We had a really good showing between the draft and the undrafted rookie free agents going to NFL teams. 757 was well represented.
Yes, and the first guy off the board, Mike Green. Like, I'm really happy for him. When I first made Sports Plug, that was the first state championship I went to at Sports Plug, and everyone remembers the play that he made at the end of the game. When that play that he made at in the state championship, like, I knew he was going to be special. He broke like 7 tackles. Just won the state championship game off that play. So, just to see him in the draft and see actually a high schooler, go to the draft, it was the first time like I've seen that in person. Like, I watched the journey from going to Virginia and then going to Marshall and just leading the nation in sacks. Like, it was real special to see him go to a defense like the Ravens, which he will thrive at in Baltimore. So, and he's close to home. So, we can actually go see him in person.
Were you guys surprised that he fell out of the first round?
A little bit, but that's kind of like the slight you get with the mid majors. It happens and they get overlooked. But it's really about I hope that players don't try to. I know it's money in that, but don't try to make it about draft position. Just try to make the most out of a situation. And the Ravens is for a player of his caliber, you can get in. They they coach well, they coach hard, and they play hard, and just no matter who is on the depth chart. And I think fitting in is more important than where you were picked in this, and especially in this case for him. So
well, and I'm being facetious because obviously everyone could mention a different team, but if you're a defensive end, if you're an edge, is there any better place to be than Baltimore? That's pretty awesome, right? And we talked about it a little bit last time about how don't get too caught up in the draft position because it's all about basic needs, right? Some teams didn't need an edge rusher, and that's when they went another direction, it was pretty clear that he was probably going to fall out of the first round. So no slight to him, he's still going to make a heck of a player, I think.
Yes, yeah, he will. I think he will dominate in Baltimore, no question. No question about it. I think he will. Dre Lambert, went to Penn State. He shined at Penn State. Went to Auburn and had even better numbers in Auburn. Just to see him get drafted too. He's another one from Maury High School. Won their first state championship, and just to see him, I actually watched him. Like, he's one of the players that I actually watched a lot in college. So I already thought he was a second rounder also.
Yeah.
So you had to see him drop. But I'm glad he's in a perfect situation with the Chargers with Justin Herbert. Like, he got a great quarterback. I think he's definitely he's another one I think that's going to shine there, especially in Harbaugh's offense.
I think he's going to end up being maybe a sleeper where he could come up and, like you said, with Justin Herbert throwing him the ball and what he proved he can do and the steps he took at Auburn, I think it's going to be a pretty good fit.
Yeah, I do as well. That's another one, the situation is just right. You think about, 56th round, at that point, thank God I got drafted, and thank God, I ended up at a place where you can flourish, but there's no pressure to flourish immediately. Is the thing. So like, you can be thrust in, take a summer, and then once it comes to the preseason, you showcase what it is you have. But right now, that seems right.
We have Tyler Neville for the Cowboys. He was signed to the Cowboys. Another Lafayette guy from the area. Lafayette is doing. I mean, they did their thing.
Yeah, right. Seriously, two Lafayette guys.
Yes.
Getting drafted / signed. That's pretty cool. And then I know that Pal Ryland.
Yes.
I was a little bit surprised that he fell so far because I thought he and Green had comparable
dominant years.
Had comparable years. Yeah. It could be like a faster first step thing and an agility thing. But I think the Eagles got a pretty good one there.
They do.
The Eagles don't seem. Shout out to coworker Drew. The Eagles seem to never miss in the draft. Like, I don't know who was in their draft room doing all but their team, like, every year from if they got a kicker, a linebacker, like, first, it doesn't matter what round, it just seems they get a player that's going to always be very productive in their system and immediately. And so, like, when it comes to the Eagles' success, it's about the way they retool, and the draft with them has been a very big part of that. Their team success, and I just wanted to kind of put that out there because this isn't a one case scenario. There's been 3 or 4 years, now the Eagles have just rounds 1 through 7 continually not miss, and I just they probably have the best draft lately of any team, I would say, because of just the way they do it, and it fits the system, and it's seamless.
Not rebuilding, reloading. That's what they do up there in Philadelphia,
yes,
right? No doubt at all. There's a couple more on the list, right?
Yes, we got Lamarion James from with the Indian River. Yep, he got signed to the Browns. That's another one that I think should have been drafted. So, like, I don't like calling some players sleepers, like Dre when he fell, like sleeper, Ryland sleeper. I don't really call them sleepers. Just like, how are you surprised that they were that good when they dominated in college, especially Dre dominated in the SEC against SEC corners.
Yep.
So, the best of the best. And, James is just, he's real good lockdown corner. He's also in, like, most of these players are in good positions. Like, he's with the Browns. You got, Denzel Ward is out there, but, it's open season for James and Powell. Definitely with Powell, too, with Brandon Graham retiring. Yeah. So these guys actually will have a good chance of, getting on the field.
Lamarion James tied for the lead in passes defended in the Big 12 with Travis Hunter.
Yes.
So, he was a cornerback to be reckoned with there.
Yes.
And he was a guy who I'm sure everybody had circled on their scouting report his lone season in the Big 12.
Yes.
And he has a continuous grind, and he really wants to go get it. And you can see that, like, he's not in the gym, playing around. He's in there working. Yeah. And I'm proud that to have I wasn't with him since the beginning of his journey. I kind of hopped on at the end when he was graduating from Indian River, but I am familiar, with his work, his game. He seems like a humble young man, and I'm just proud to be able to have him repping us as just an area representative of what it looks like to stay down. Yeah. Put in the hard work and get what's coming to you. So,
and if you know his story is pretty incredible too. I mean, he's been very open about all the loved ones and friends that he's lost during his childhood, and how I think he said he has a tattoo for each and every one of them on his arm. And he really, he's an incredible story too of perseverance. So, so good for Lamarion. I'm hoping he makes it. Did we hit everybody?
Daquan Felton. With the
Felton,
Giants.
That's right.
Yep, Daquan Felton with the Giants, the big body receiver from Norfolk State with the Virginia Tech, and thrived in both places. I think he's going to another perfect situation. The Giants. I mean, they have Malik Neighbors, but I mean, could easily be a good number 2 or 3 there in New York.
I think it's going to be cool to see where these guys land, no doubt at all. And it's always cool to see, like, how, there are always those guys, those undrafted rookies that we see every year. Yes. There's 1 or 2 of them that creep up in there and become a mainstay. Who's that going to be? Hopefully it's some of our guys. I'm looking forward to it. Now, guys, we're talking about this year's draft. But what you guys do, you're seeing the future here. You've been busy. You've been all over the place.
Oh, yes.
You're learning about this next crop of talent who we might be sitting here talking about in a couple of years. Do I have that right?
Yes.
Absolutely. We had us a busy week. We've been around it's not over yet, but we still, because we still have some events coming up. But the college pro days is what we've kind of been getting into this week. So we'll get into that, but I came yesterday. We were at Green Run. We did Maury. Today, we were at Kings Fork, so we had Lakeland, Kings Fork, Nansen River. We've been at Phoebus, Smithfield, Denby, and it's some more going on this week. But we've fortunate enough to be able to spread out and see like all the aerial talent. So it really has been instrumental in just us building up the exposure. Like that's we're here trying to do. It's not it's not for us, it's for the kids, and ultimately like these days are for them, and it's been going well so far.
Key, how do these things work when you guys go and watch them? What are they doing? The college coaches are there and scouts, I would assume. But what are they doing on the field? Is it like a pro day? How do they work?
Yes, I love the college days. Especially I like with Coach Sykes and Porter, and at Bethel and Warwick. All the PD guys came together and had their a joint college day, so all the college coaches can stay in. They don't have to travel all over the place. They just stay in one just one stadium, and just see all the kids from 2 cities put together. And the colleges were they was talking amongst each other, just evaluating the kids. It's something that the kids just go through drills, individual drills, and 7-on-7 at the end. Maybe it's optional. Some coaches really don't do it, but it's glad to. I was happy to see that yesterday when I was at Todd Stadium. And seeing all the kids, they never. Sometimes the Peninsula District gets overlooked, and then like to see the night of and the day after, all the kids get offers. Like a lot of kids are getting offered. Syracuse is showing a lot of love. Marshall, those type of colleges that usually don't offer kids from Peninsula. Like I've rarely seen Syracuse offer Peninsula kids. So just seeing that was awesome. Even today at Phoebus was the same thing. Phoebus had about 20 plus coaches out there. It's the four peak. So of course that was going to happen. But just to see that, just to see these kids get an opportunity they usually don't. And I mean it was different. It was different. I recommend more cities do that. It will definitely work. It works. Like just having all the high schools. Like it doesn't really hurt anything. I think they should all have joint college days. They do it in Richmond, Highland Springs, and Dinwiddie, and all those good schools do the same thing. So I think it should be. Some schools don't really have to, like a Maury and a Green Run. The kids get offers. Kids get offers, but I still think it shouldn't be a competition thing about whose school get the most kids. I think everyone should help each other out. When it comes to recruiting, I think the area, like more kids get recruited from different schools, helps the area out completely instead of like more just a bunch of kids getting offers from one school or 1 or 2 schools. But when everyone is getting offers from different schools, that's it'll be good for recruiting.
Well, and the 757 coaches are going to come here based on its reputation and its history. Yes. So, it doesn't take a lot to get coaches to come here. But if you guys aren't following Sports Plug 757 on every social media account you can find, definitely do that, because it's amazing. I learn about Syracuse offering local guys and stuff from you guys. Yes. So it's pretty cool. And the exposure that these guys are giving is fantastic and second to none. Let's also add that too, that you guys are doing an incredible job.
Thank you.
So what are some other stops that you guys are making coming up here?
So tomorrow I'm actually after work I'm going over to Virginia Beach. I'm going to see Virginia Beach is having one of the schools besides Green Run, so it's Salem, Ocean Lakes, Lansdowne, and Bayside. They'll be there tomorrow at 4:30. So we'll be. I met up with some of these coaches. I've been traveling kind of with them from event to. We went from Green Run.
Yeah, familiar faces, right?
Some went from Moore to Oscar Smith. So we actually been able to build that rapport. But that's where I am tomorrow. There is like they've been telling me about events that's going on, but Saturday it's a Mark Hall Invitational, Virginia Beach at First Colonial at 2. First Colonial at 2, so we'll be able to get there and just continue. Like this week has been very good for just exposure for the kids. I was actually talking to one of the 8th graders from Nansemond River today, and he was saying, he was looking around, he was like starstruck almost. He was saying, "Well, I never seen this many college scouts and recruits and coaches in one place," and I was like, I was able to say, yeah, but like, this is y'all time. Like, this is for y'all. It's something I graduated in 2013 that I didn't have, but had I had it, I might have been able to go to school. But it's not about me in the past. It's about what we can do to affect the future. And these college pro days, like he was saying, I hope more schools start to collaborate with them, because I was at for example, today I was at Kings Fork, and Kings Fork had Nansemond River. We know they are both very good programs, but Lakeland was there as well. So the scouts that were there watching these schools were also watching Lakeland. And that's not going to do anything but, bring the area up, bring more scouts here to just get. It's enough schools for kids to go to. We got D1, 2, 3, JUCO, so we can get a kid that was overlooked one scholarship to do what he loves, so he doesn't have to have debt, and he can get ahead in life a little bit.
Right.
That's really what it's about. So, that's what we're looking at this week. But that's just what college the pro days have brought to the area, and just allowed for us to kind of hit on.
Yeah, no doubt at all. You say in 2000. Well, I had no social media. There's no way to get the word out. So you guys are definitely up in the game. No doubt at all. It's really fun to see. Any final thoughts from you guys today?
Shoot, it's just going back on the college days for high school. I mean, it was great. Derek Fisher from Bethel got 5 offers in one day, so that was amazing to see.
Wow.
So I mean, I think he's the first nationally ranked player at Bethel since Jeremiah Owusu. I mean, he got the size, he has everything, but just getting spring intel. We're gonna hit on that next week about what we're getting, spring intel from all these teams. Yep, what we can give out. Yeah, what we can give out.
You on the record
yes,
stuff, right?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. What we can give out next week, we're going to talk about that, because we've seen a lot. It's a lot of good roster moves, and we're going to talk about that too also next week, about the new VHSL rule, about the transfers and all that. But I mean, everything was looking good. I mean, I just like it. I just like seeing the talent, and I was happy for the area. Just seeing that many coaches in just one area at one school, well, not even just one school, but all the schools, like some schools that wouldn't normally get, that type of college, like a UNC coach at Denby or at Heritage, something like that. I was happy to see that.
It offers them a chance to see, find maybe a diamond in the rough who they otherwise wouldn't. You know what I mean? I think it's pretty cool stuff.
And it offers us the chance to give them to them. I had a couple coaches ask me yesterday, if you got some top players in the area I need to be watching for, just some players. Period. I told them, we'd be collaborating, and we'll make that happen as much as possible. Like, with us, it's no agenda. We're not recruiting anybody to come to our team. We just pushing, get them out of here, get them out of here. So it was really inspirational to see, finally the area coming together and making things like this happen for the kids, for the sake of the kids.
Well, and hopefully it only gets better, right?
Yes, sir.
I have serious optimism that it will.
Every Wednesday night, that's when the No Limit Sports podcast will drop. Hope you guys will join us every Wednesday. And also, comment on YouTube if there's any topics you want to hear about. We're going to get you guys all taken care of. Thanks a lot. We'll see you next time.